What's up, guys? We are here at the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate North America Open Southwest online event qualifiers here in the Southwest region. And I'm really excited, of course, because I'm going to be here with my boy Nine Hole Greens. Of course, this is D1 here.
It's good to finally be working with you. And I know that a lot of viewers at home are excited to see what we had. We saw some exciting matches earlier. So talk a little bit about the format before we get this started.
Of course. You know, going into this, we're going to be having single elimination matches with items on low, 3 stock, and also I believe we're going to be having about 12 stages that are going to be used here too. A lot of different stages, and it's going to be really interesting. Of course, there are going to be 4 players that are going to be duking it out, and they're going to try to see if they can at least be the Southwest region champion. Here it is. Check out the bracket.
You can see it right there. Sirveru, Aarow, Ramon, M64, and Numbreon. They've battled. There were a lot of people. They went through, I believe, 9 rounds to get here, but they still have 2 more that they have to get to. Of course, the winner of this will be punching their ticket to PAX, which I know is a fantastic prize. But we actually know some of the players these two have been playing here at the top, Sirveru and Aarow. Talk about that for a minute.
Well, absolutely. Checking out Aarow. Aarow was actually able to take out a well-known player out of the Southwest region by the name of Fallen, who actually is really solid when it comes to Super Smash Bros. Competitive. So I'm excited to see what's going to go on over here. Of course, Sirveru uses Mario and Aarow uses Young Link. And on the other side,
yeah, Ramon M64 used Mega Man earlier and Numbreon Ness. And all 4 of these players exclusively used the characters that we just gave them respectively. They do not have to stick with them. They could change it up if they'd like. But hey, you came here with that character. You may as well stick with it. Although the items might change things a little bit. And talking about Mario versus Young Link, we talked about how the items might turn the tails just a little bit.
Yep, and the same thing even goes for Ness versus Mega Man as well. You know, looking at these 2 characters. When we're talking about Mario versus Young Link, we understand that Young Link has a lot of great projectiles, right? Whereas the items might allow Mario to actually find solid zone breakers to get inside of the myriad of projectiles that Young Link can put out. And the same goes for Ness. Ness, of course, does have his side magnet that allows him to absorb projectiles that are like energy based. But when you look at Mega Man does have some of those items that he can, those projectiles that he can absorb, you know, with the forward smash, right? But on the other hand, he has the Metal Blade, and you can't quite absorb that one as it's physical.
Not quite an energy blade. We're going to be getting into this soon now and talk a little bit. I know we have some different stages here. I know we've got Gerudo Valley, Paper Mario, Frigate Orphean, things that people may not be familiar with, a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, and of course, again, the items. I know all of you who were watching earlier saw the power of the Dragoon, 0% that Yoshi got taken out at.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw that situation, it was so scary because obviously you saw the Rob was at 200%. And the Yoshi was doing such an amazing job, but right there, catching EE and Coney unawares at 0%, and also catching, of course, the Yoshi unawares. Right there at 0%. When I saw him get hit by the Dragoon, I paused there, hands on both of my thighs, just looking right at the screen, hoping that maybe there would be a chance for him to survive. But he just flew.
There was no chance. I mean, the whole place heard us yelling, but we're going to be yelling a little bit more here as we get into it. Sirveru versus Aarow using the characters that we thought they would be using.
And here it is going into Battlefield, a pretty safe pick for a lot of players. Of course, these platforms can help out. Mario, when it comes to the platforms, as you can see here,
we call them ladder combos for a reason. They just go up, and away. And so far, that's kind of been the story of it. But here we go. You mentioned to me earlier, some more combos coming back the other way. They are going blow for blow right now.
Honestly, I'm very impressed with the way Sirveru moves with Young Link. He definitely has a game plan going into this. A lot of times you see Young Link mains, when they use the projectiles, they might not try to pursue follow-up hits. They'll just keep on zoning. But this guy has a game plan. But at the same time, Sirveru does as well. As you can see, he tries to see if he can KO the opponent off the top with a super jump punch to no avail.
We see the soccer ball coming in right now. Just a little hit there, but if you hit that with a charge smash, it will take your life in an instant here. And I love the way you mentioned there that Aarow has been following up with these follow-ups. You have to, because you know that Marios are going to take everything they can get from their openings too. The soccer ball still on the field. Remember, the items are on low. You won't see everything, but as we saw earlier, it can be the story. Otherwise, we have a very close game at the start.
Yep, and we have a real smash ball. It just knocked off, but it's going to come right back into play. I knew, wait a second. Is he going to get caught?
Oh, that Triforce slash narrowly missing here. The grab not going to miss right now. I like the idea going for a grab release, trying to set up a ledge trap opportunity, but again, the cape going to be saving his life there.
And the cape also helping him just get the pressure of the items off of his back. Here it is, the one fire arrow connecting. And look at that, immediately just dropping that item right off. He's like, nope, not today.
Nope, don't want to give him any more ammunition to work with here. Both of them going to be looking for some follow-ups here. Neither one of these characters has a very quick kill opportunity that we see, so they're probably going to be trying to go for an edge guard situation. Jumping around in the middle. I believe that's the Super Scope that's here in the center, throwing it. Can we see it again? Maybe.
So smart right there. Not even trying to waste time charging, but as you can see there, with the spin attack on the ground, just putting Mario in a juggle situation so that he can get that KO.
157% here. You know Sirveru would like to take this one before too much extra credit gets put on. I believe that is the curry that's going to be gone right there, and Young Link actually picked it up.
There it is, using the flood just to push Young Link back. Could have gotten a cape right there, but there was a bomb in hand, so it would have helped him survive anyway. Hot curry stuff here from Young Link.
It's damage starting to rack up here. 40%, not terrible, but again, you talked earlier about the projectiles here. You know that Aarow is fine, and now the first Pokemon we see, Meowth, coming all the way back.
Yep, it's definitely payday, but it looks like none of those attacks are connecting. Sirveru, okay, finally able to actually get that KO, was able to finally get Aarow off stage, but Aarow, I have to say, has been such a hard opponent to hit.
You know that they're going to be running away, and now finally, even the boomerang, what looked like a good combo, and this is bad. For those unaware, the black hole is going to keep Sirveru there. Needs to stay away. That does have a pretty good radius, but only getting hit once out of it, and now the down air. Aarow has been following Sirveru in the air, and I think he's starting to pick up on the way that Sirveru is using his double jump to try to escape.
You're so right about that, Nine-Hole Grapes. Like, oh, I saw right there, basically, that wasn't really a combo. He was just following where his opponent was going after landing that initial hit. So here we go right now with a one-stock lead, but Sirveru trying to run it back. He gets a grab and missed the spike. Beautiful catch right there. Talking about reading double jumps.
Yeah, read it right there. Did not even try to go low. Waited until the double jump came out. That is something that people will do when they're scared sometimes. They'll immediately burn that double jump to try to get back to a position of safety, but there was nothing safe at the end of Mario's fist.
Uh-oh, but we have a tough situation. Somebody's about to get taken right off the top.
Oh, stay away from it.
Scary situation. Nice usage of the parry as well, as that's a good way to get the pressure off of you when you're getting sharked from below, staying on a platform.
Back now to an even situation after what was a pretty dire early game. We're now seeing that Sirveru has brought it back, but needs to find a way down here. The banana gun getting thrown away.
Yeah,
again, what can he do? Can he get another edge guard here? Don't burn the double jump early. Very wise using that tether recovery.
Exactly. And you see using that spot dodge as well. Doesn't want any more pressure being exerted on him. And Sirveru trying to use that boomerang. Wait a second, though. Tough spot. You saw that spin attack, but gets out of harm's way. He might roll it instead. There it is. Such an amazing tech chase right there, just catching Aarow off guard. And I have to say, you know what? Sirveru the entire time was playing from behind, but all you saw him do was just remain vigilant, waited for that opportunity for him to actually get the tech chase on his opponent with the drill, and afterwards, that was all she wrote.
It was, and we talked earlier about how normally that is not something that Mario can do. He does not have a true projectile. He does have the fireball, but the fireball is not going to take somebody's stock. So using that understanding to stay away in position, use that instead of running in. Hey, if the game is going to give you that to use it.
Exactly, and I have to say, that was really smart moves from him in the beginning. We saw him showing off that he definitely has the combo tools down. He understands the tool that he has to reflect projectiles back at his opponent, and he had really good recovery as well. You know, I didn't really see Aarow actually edge guarding him all too well. Uh-oh, this might be an interesting situation we have here, because players who are caught underneath the stage could actually opt to, instead of recovering for the edge here at DK64, they could instead recover towards the center.
They can. And we see that right there. Actually, Aarow probably missing the ledge. I think would have much preferred to go to it in that situation. Took a little hit there, but not the biggest deal there. This is, again, not a stage that some of our viewers may be familiar with, but it is here to stay. It's got the slants. It's got those platforms at the top. These players are going to try to work around it as best they can, and I really understand why Aarow is going to go here. All the room that Aarow has to run to one side of the stage and continue that long-range pressure and zoning. Let's see what assist trophy.
Honestly, too, if Aarow wanted to play to time, those platforms being so high can work out to his benefit, too.
This stage almost infamous for that, but Pac-Man saving his life!
Yeah, the ghosts actually came through to bring Mario back on stage, but here's the opening. Goes for the up smash, and that's a KO right off the top.
Assist trophies giveth, and assist trophies taketh away.
Oh, absolutely. And Aarow, Aarow's in a tough spot right here. He understands that this is a 2 out of 3 situation with single elimination. So he has to bring it back here on this counter pick. And right now, he has the lead like we saw in Game 1. But Sirveru already showing us that he has what it takes to bring it back.
Absolutely. We saw that earlier. That last game, Sirveru playing from behind the entire time. Understands there's patience and understands there's new tools. That up smash is a little stale. It has been used a couple times to hit away Aarow. Might need to find a different option. You see going, maybe getting a little bit too overzealous with these smash attacks. Has gotten punished for it a couple times.
Yep, I do like his spin attack usage though, as it puts Mario into the air. And right there, actually getting enough time to punish that down air. It's so hard to punish that with Young Link as it has a very low landing lag. Okay, nice right there, just avoiding the fire arrows. You could see the way Sirveru was just bobbing and weaving around all these projectiles, even avoiding the attacks from Aarow too.
Vulpix trying to get involved here, and I think right now Sirveru is really just trying to find a grab or something low committal. Has already taken a lot of damage like we saw in that last game. You cannot spot dodge around that, and the hammer is here, gets knocked out of the hands.
Oh my goodness, and that full jump with the hammer swing was all Aarow needed. He has a 2-stock lead, and you know, with the invincibility that Zeburu had, he could have been able to knock that Aarow out of his hand, but instead, he's doing a pretty good job here, gets the down smash, and now he's just 1 stock away from tying up the stocks.
Needs to find something here and can't take too much damage. The combos that we've seen, and oh, there was a chance to make something beautiful out of that, D1.
Yes, but pretty good damage that he got over there. You saw him force that double jump with that early fireball, trying to see if he could potentially cape a recovery, and here's another combo. Okay, ending short right there, and we have the Smash Ball. Smash Ball actually a little bit more potent right here. Let's see if he's going to be able to have it find its mark. Looking for an opening.
Right here, will he be able to jump away? Getting caught in the Mario finale, but falling off the top side. That is meant to carry you all the way to the edge. Very fortunate for Aarow not having that happen. And now another item in play right here. Aarow going to sit up there at the top. That does reverse your controls, so I understand why Aarow just tries to go away and actually does a pretty good job of avoiding it and actually stacking some damage in what was a precarious position.
Yeah, honestly, I just beat Earthbound recently, and that Rambling Mushroom is one of my least favorite like projectiles, or just enemies in the game. But here it is, forward throw to set up again. He has the Flood, double jump. Oh, he actually went in the opposite direction. Forced to be on his frontal stock here. He has to watch out for a setup from Mario, potentially into a spike. And Mario has what it takes to get that.
He does. The tools to put damage 35 off of just one grab. Now needs to find a way to recover here. The super jump punch going to do just that. And this damage is starting to mount. Needs to be careful. No tech rolls in.
Oh my goodness. And here it is again, ladies and gentlemen. Sirveru somehow, someway is able to bring it back. There's the charge up smash. As there is invulnerability, you don't want to challenge that attack.
Oh, the top platform will be enough. I don't think that would have taken the stock lower, but going up there, the super jump punch, putting it all on the table. And instead, we are now tied 1-1 moving into a Game 3 here in our first set.
Very, very, very astute observation right there by 9-hole Grain. So basically, going for that super jump punch was like an all-in maneuver. Sirveru understanding that, you know what, I could potentially just get a 2-0 on my opponent right here. Aarow is already showing that he is a tough opponent to deal with, so let me try my best to see if I can close this out immediately. So he went for the super jump punch right there, but like you said, he left himself wide open. It was an all-in that did not pay out in his favor.
Well, we are live from Vegas, so I guess going all in does make sense. Moving into Game 3 right now, of course, characters staying exactly the same. On Frigate Orpheon, this is one that some of our viewers may be a little bit more familiar with. This has been used in past Smash installments and even in the early days of Ultimate with hazards off.
Exactly. This stage right now does have an edge on the right side, which is actually new to this stage as well. So now people, if they have a tough time recovering, especially when the platform goes low, you'll be able to come back. And I love that right there. You just saw a little scary situation where Sirveru was trying to get the spike to get an early stop on his opponent, but that neutral air coming out so quick thwarted that attempt.
Aarow not going to fall for the same trick twice, and now we see Giratina over at the side, both playing around him pretty admirably there. Aarow actually going right under, saying, I guess this is the safest spot to hide from that monster. But again, not really much doing here earlier, and we again see Sirveru fighting from behind. This has happened all 3 games.
Exactly, but I have to say, man, every time I see Sirveru playing from behind, I'm never going to count him out. Never, because he always shows that he has an ace up his sleeve, dude. Mario is that character who's an all-around character, right? He's outfitted with, he's not usually like the best character, but he's average. And it's funny because when you look at Mario in all sorts of other games that he's featured in, that's how he is. He's featured as that average character, but in the right hands, he can be quite scary, as you can see here from Sirveru.
A great air dodge reach that time by Sirveru in the Mario finale on deck. Let's see if it finds a little bit more success than it did last time, as again, Sirveru has completely evened the game and really has an advantage holding on to this Smash Ball.
Yes, a very scary situation, but you see that spin attack just knocking the Smash Ball out, and Aarow's trying to see if he can actually break it.
Gets it with the neutral air this time. Triforce Slash will find its mark.
Such a beautiful final smash here. Gets the connection, and there you have it. Taking the stock from Sirveru. This is a scary situation to deal with, as he was able to take out that stock a little bit early.
A little bit early here. Again, not double jumping into it again. You saw Sirveru was looking for it again, saying maybe Aarow will jump into my forward air. That big spike punch, but it did not happen this time. And Aarow's getting a little bit hopeful with some of these up Bs on the ground.
Yes, that spin attack, it gives you a lot of opportunities to juggle the opponent, but as you can see right there, you can be quite open, but Sirveru was just a little bit too far to connect the forward smash after the parry.
Making a statement right here. Can we get a count on those in this last 30 seconds? This is incredible.
Gets the grabs, and now we're forcing a potential edge guard situation, but there you have it. It's always scary trying to attack the links from above when they're landing, because they'll usually put that attack out. But speaking of attacks that are being put out, Sirveru. What's going to happen right now, Grace? I see something on Mario's character portrait.
Oh, we saw this earlier. The Dragoon can take stocks at 0%. We saw it here, and very wisely, Aarow immediately picking up that one after knocking it out of Sirveru here. Sirveru trying to stay alive until the last one falls.
Yep, and we saw what happened before when there was a matchup between a Yoshi and a Rob, and now Aarow instead says, this time I'm going to get the match. Beautiful job moving on in the bracket.
Great composure there at the end, knowing that I'm at low percent. I have one of these Dragoon pieces. I have a little bit of room if I want to throw out a couple smash attacks here. Knowing, again, we talked earlier, that super jump punch would have taken the stock right there. Aarow saying, all right, if I hit this up smash, I win, and it's done. If I lose, I take a back air, I get grabbed. It's that risk-reward management that is now moving Aarow on into the grand finals of the Southwest Division. But we have another match that's going to be coming up now. Ramon, M64 versus Numbreon.
Yes, and Numbreon is a NES main, while Ramon M64 is a Mega Man main. So we're going to be having the NES versus Mega Man matchup where, going into 2.0. Actually, NES got some changes. His down air is even more potent right now, and the auto-cancel frames window is actually bigger for his up air. So basically now he's able to just do the up air and upon landing be able to quickly act, which is beautiful. And on the other hand, Mega Man did get some changes as well, which probably might make some Mega Man fans not too happy.
Right. Leaf Shield, still a fantastic move, but just got a little slap on the wrist, not being able to use regular moves in conjunction with the Leaf Shield. It's still a fantastic move here, but it might make a bit of a difference here. And we were talking earlier, this is an interesting matchup because both of these characters have tools against the other one. Ness's PK Magnet, PSI Magnet, I believe is the name of it there, will absorb lemons. Lemons being the jab as well as the forward tilt and the neutral air. So not going to be able to do some of the typical Mega Man things that you might see.
Yep, and even the forward smash as well, being such a big projectile from Mega Man, right? But on the other hand, he can actually bait out, the Mega Man player can bait out the NES player's side magnet so that he can get a metal blade in there. As you know, that is a physical projectile.
Right.
So that's something to take note of. Mega Man, of course, loves to zone, and NES players, they do have tools that they could zone with. The main one that usually see them use is PK Fire, right? But if another opponent has a projectile that can clash with the PK Fire, you'll see a pillar that will just come up from the ground, basically showing that the point of contact where those two projectiles connected. I think it's going to be really interesting seeing what's going to transpire between these two, where, Mega Man, he has Rush.
Right.
So when it comes to recovery, he has many different ways to mix up his recovery. You could use Rush before your double jump.
Right.
And because of that, there might be times where players, if they see you're all the way deep down off into the, into the bubble where they can't quite tell if you use your double jump or not, you can use Rush. And right there, they'll wait and see if he has access to the double jump or not. And when you use the double jump, you also have access to your air dodge. So that's like another jump right there. The directional air dodge being a buff, not only for many characters in the game, but also Ness. Because, you know, switching it around, now focusing on Ness. Ness is a character when it comes to his recovery. A lot of characters have a way easier time edge guarding him. If you think about Ness, PK Thunder, and while he does a PK Thunder, it's taking its time to reach Ness so that it can blast him off to where he wants to go. And while that happens, the seasoned veteran, of course, is going to jump off stage and try to see if they can intercept Ness before he's able to come back. And looking at one of the best tools that Mega Man has to deal with his recovery is the down air.
The down air.
Yes, that down air is a spike. So if you actually connect the spike on your opponent, that's going to just send Ness way down below, making it even harder to want to recover when it comes to his PK Thunder recovery. So,
and another fun thing about that, I'm glad you mentioned that down air, is because you can use it from way above, sometimes you'll go down and you'll get hit by the PK Thunder, and as you know, once it goes off, it's very strong. So when you have that down air, you can use that instead from a safe distance, and even if you miss, all that happens is maybe the Ness recovers, you jump back on stage, and you're fine. But another thing about PK Thunder that I was kind of playing around with earlier is a lot of you know PK Thunder can chase people way off stage. And even though Mega Man does have those recovery options, his aerial mobility is not great. He might take a lot of damage if he gets off stage. We will have those answers for you right now. We are going to get into this match between Ramon M64 and Numbreon.
Yep, here it is. We're going to have to see Numbreon try to get inside Ramon M64's zone. And you saw him try to do that there. He immediately went in with that forward aerial, understanding that this opens up opportunities for combos. He can either convert that into a grab or another forward air. So here it is, Ramon M64 trying to keep control of center stage.
Some interesting things about this stage, actually. Some of you may not be familiar with Skyworld. We have some real ceilings here. Hazards are off, so they won't break, but they are still solid. We could see some techs and some people living to very high percents, as you see Ness hiding right under there right now.
And speaking of Ness hiding right under there, he better make sure not to hide. His opponent doesn't hide behind that shield when Mr. Saturn was out. Currently out of play, though. Here comes the PK Thunder, just like you mentioned, forcing Numbreon to actually close the... Actually, Ramon M64 to close the distance between him and his opponent.
Just been coming in right now. Some explosions there. They're going to play it out away from that. But I like the way that Ramon is hiding on top. Knows that Ness can't jump up and attack him from that position. So saying that if Ness is trying to get something started, I can utilize this solid stage to be sort of an ally here and protecting me against what Ness is capable of doing.
Oh, exactly. Seeing the fact that Mega Man is a character that has really great projectiles, he's able to actually shark while staying in the center of the stage. And we might actually have Mega Man Legends coming out very soon. Does he connect it? Oh my goodness, dude. It's been such a long time, but here it is. The Super Fighting Robot does it yet again, but it's not a KO. It is not a KO. I can't believe it.
This is what we talked about earlier. Hiding under there is going to allow you to tech and live a lot longer than you would normally be able to. Great by Numbreon to have the presence of mind, understanding exactly what to do. And again, I'm not sure which one of them picked this stage, but they are both getting a lot from it.
Yes. Well, here it is. Staying in center right now. Try not to get caught by these Metal Blades. As you can see, I love what Numbreon did there. You can put the down smash out and make it hard for people to recover at the edge because you'll have an active hitbox at the edge.
Oh my goodness, 159 and 120. Not something I think most people would be expecting. And bouncing off of two different platforms there is Numbreon, barely managing to stay alive. Both of them looking for something, anything that could take this first stock. And actually, you might see a stock gained here. Numbreon getting that loss. And is Ramon actually going to be able to get it? No! Will Numbreon be able to get it? They have changed hands again! Neither one of them.
It's so crazy. And right there, avoiding that PK fire. Look how fast Ramon plays, too. It's almost difficult for just posing with the special flag.
They are both willing to take all of this damage to potentially get another stock. The special flag does add a stock to your count here. And with an assist trophy and a Pokemon in line, this might be the opportunity that's needed.
But things are getting a little dark right here. But Ramon staying in center stage, ever so smart. Wait a second. We have beams of light just coming through over and over again. And that PK Thunder was actually a little scary. I was like wondering if it was errant, but instead we have Numbreon still staying on stage.
And Ramon actually in all of that was able to get the extra one and now calls Isaac to his aid here. Isaac a very, very strong assist trophy as well. Numbreon just saying, let me get as far away as I can from this. Isaac showing his stuff right here, and Ramon now up 3 stocks to 1 because of the special flag, because of the assist trophy, and now Numbreon has to be trying to find some new answers.
Wow, and right there, Numbreon definitely showing that he's not the biggest fan of Golden Sun, just taking that bat and smashing it right there on Isaac to get him out of play. We have Ramon right here. 3 stocks, just like you said, that special flag came to the rescue. Numbreon, first game, a bit of a tough spot. Tried to see if he could get that PK Thunder to connect, but great recovery right there. And there's the up air to connect, and that back air would have been able to actually get another beautiful follow-up, but the air dodge came through.
And right now, Numbreon trying to find some answers here, maybe a back throw, something along those lines. But you see Ramon not willing to leave these areas where he can continue to tech and preserve this first stock? Second? I'm not even sure what we call this anymore.
This is crazy, but, you know, speaking of the back throw tool, if he goes for the back throw, you can see these walls just make it so hard for him to get the KO. And right there, that air dodge was just a little bit too far. Let's see if Numbreon's going to be able to actually bring it back. If he just stays in the center, at least he'll have access to the tech. But the higher his percentages go, wait a second, big combo right here.
Ness, a very explosive character that we talked about. Is that going to take a stock? No. And actually, Numbreon bounced off there. I was looking and seeing if Mega Man was going to survive. I should have been looking the other way, as Ramon M64 does take that first game, and a wild first game it was.
Now, to answer your question, is that going to take a stock? It definitely will. Unfortunately, not from who you expected it to come from. Yeah.
You have the right idea, the wrong character. That's how it goes sometimes. Man. But really, I think Numbreon has to be looking at himself in that game and saying, okay, every bad break that could happen, I caught. They had the assist trophy, they had the Pokeball, they had the final smash as well, and the special flag, and my recovery move took my stock. So, all right, I got all the bad breaks out of the way now. This game, something will go my way. Something has to. And when it was neutral, when the items weren't really affecting play as much, it was pretty even. We saw both characters have those big explosive punishes early on, and they both got to about 100% before the format of the tournament started to kick in.
Yep, once you saw those items, especially that special flag came in, that's when things got so difficult. But I think right here going into the next match, Numbreon's going to have to pick something that will allow him to actually benefit off of the fact that, you know, to allow him to get these back throw KOs, right? You want to have something that's not too big of a stage for the Mega Man to be able to have a lot of breathing room to continue to zone him. And I truly think stages with platforms might have to go as well. As we, wait a second, yeah, actually, I don't think we have access to Final Destination here. No, so we're going to see what happens here.
Going here to Yoshi's Island Brawl, as a lot of us call it and love to know it here. Does have some slants as well, that big platform in the middle here, but this certainly a stage that both of these players are probably more familiar with than Skyworld.
Oh, indeed. Right here, the slants sometimes make it hard to actually hit shorter characters, but right here, these guys won't have too hard of a time actually connecting attacks on each other, as you can see here. Piling on the pressure is Ramon 64, but Numbreon always ready to swing back.
And I'm glad earlier you mentioned baiting out the Psy Magnet here. That's exactly what we saw Ramon do over there. Instead, throwing it there. That's not energy. And there we go, straight from Kid Icarus Uprising. We do have that staff. The further away you are, the more damage it does. Numbreon fine stacking on that damage there, utilizing that item to the best of its ability. Now the item is gone, though. They are, again, kind of jumping around that top platform, trying to utilize their projectiles as we see the up tilt, that powerful Shoryuken.
Yep, and you can see right now Numbreon trying his best to use tools like the neutral air to intercept Ramon as he jumps into the skies as the neutral air comes out quickly. But here it is, you know, Mega Man having that fire sword just so strong. Wait a second, PK Star Storm!
This is really difficult to recover against. You saw Ramon doing everything he could to try to get past that. That is a long and lingering PK Star Storm, and it does what it does so often, taking that first stock. And now there's an opportunity for Numbreon to build some damage. We mentioned earlier Ness, an explosive character off of PK Fire, off of down throw, off of forward air, can stack up 20, 30, sometimes even more percent.
So much damage. But here it is again, Ramon M64, and you can see how things are way different now. Numbreon, 3 stocks right here. He is getting closer to KO percents, and because of that, you see Ramon trying to use his KO options. But, okay, beautiful mix-up.
Beautiful.
I thought we were going to see the PK Thunder recovery, but instead opting for that air dodge not only threw us off, but even Ramon M64.
Yeah, and you like that he went off there to try to get that, but again, sometimes one answer is beaten by another answer there, and Ramon still not able to take this first stock, is holding on to 2 Dragoon pieces, and we called it earlier,
Yes.
the down air going to take it right there.
Absolutely, and didn't have to even worry about the threat of a PK Thunder connecting, but nice setup right there by Numbreon, but Ramon M64 sniffed it out and made sure to recover super high to not get caught by the PK Thunder 2 setup.
And now Numbreon is holding on to that final piece of the Dragoon, needs to play keep away here, and this time the stock will be gone. And it is the correct stock that was taken that time, D1.
I gave him too much credit. But here we go, though. Back on the Yoshi's Island Brawl battle, avoiding these Metal Blades. You see how Numbreon is just trying his best to maintain the lead, keeping it safe, being a bit more defensive, but now the Leaf Shield is coming out.
And now the Dragoon, we saw what this could do earlier on this stage. The roll, but it's gonna get hit. Spot dodge will not save you, and we have essentially an even game. Both of these players firing everything they have.
We didn't even, he just blew up off the screen. Never to be seen again. Actually, no, wait, he's back here with 1 stock remaining. An assist trophy's out, immediately catches it, and it's time to swat the flies.
Flies in hand, the official name of this right now. I think both of these players are just a little bit confused right now as what they are fighting here, but PK Fire, something I know everyone is familiar with, doing a lot of damage. Ramon wisely dodging the PK Thunder that time and just trying to avoid all of this.
I can't believe Numbreon actually, that platform, was able to swing and hit that Metal Blade. That was so beautiful. And right there, Ramon M64 just dropping below, tying up the set. But can we talk about that? He really reflected the Metal Blade with the bat.
Yeah.
On the platform. What kind of awareness does this man have?
I think he noticed that time that he'd been throwing it out there. He was using projectiles to try to zone him out. Says, you know what? Let's just take a swing. Let's see what happens here. And it put him in the advantage state that he needed to take that game. And that time we said, okay, a break has to go Numbreon's way. That time, even though the Dragoon hit him in the face, he still managed to take that game as we move on now to Game 3.
Yeah, I'm incredibly impressed, and I'm happy that we're getting a chance to actually see a Game 3 scenario between these two players. You know, the first stage looked like it really benefited Ramon M64, but the second stage, it looked like things were a bit more even, giving Numbreon an opportunity. And I have to say, man, seeing Ramon M64 get the Dragoon piece and then actually connect it on Numbreon, I was a little shook. I was like, wait a second. Are the tables going to turn? Is it going to be over? But you know what? Numbreon, he kept it together. Beautiful job by him, and we're going to see what's going to transpire here in the third game.
Composure is the name of the game as we get into Game 3. Right now, characters, of course, going to stay the same as we move here. Taking a look at the stage that we will be on now, they're running it straight back D1. I think they like that this stage a little more neutral than that first one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this stage. Not too bad. And you can see right now, trying to low profile these short hop attacks by Numbreon is Ramon M64 using the down tilt, has some solid juggles too. It almost looks like he's playing volleyball, which, you know, is a sport that I was a big fan of in high school.
Guess we'll have to look at the volleyball stats for both Ness and Mega Man here. Oh, and Ramon, not what we want to see in a Game 3, using that air dodge and not even getting the chance to use Rush. And now this is a big deficit that they're going to have to come back from. Maybe the Boomerang can help, but this is an early hole, D1.
Yeah, I mean, the Boomerang definitely comes to the rescue when it comes to Mega Man. Actually, Mario Kart. Mario Kart for the Switch. But we'll see what's going to happen here. Playing from behind now is Ramon M64, and you can see the pressure at the edge time and time again from Numbreon. Using a lot of his aerials, he's staying super airborne. He understands that if he stays on the ground, the projectiles will keep him pressured.
And one of the things that's so difficult about this is Mega Man as a character is someone who likes to be able to dictate the pace of his game. But because he is down by so much, you see Ramon's having to go in and be more aggressive this game, but that can be very risky in doing so. Sure, you may get a hit, but you might get grabbed, you might get PK fired. And this is very difficult as 2 Dragoon pieces now currently on the map.
Okay, there it is again. Ramon M64 with the immediate double jump. He saw what happened before with that PK Thunder 2 setup. Here it is again, avoiding that forward smash. I have to say, one thing I like from Ramon is that he's trying to force a situation where Ness has to recover off stage, because that's one of Ness's biggest weaknesses.
It is. And now you see again, you talked about it earlier, the Pillar of Fire that will happen when there is a trade with that. And I love Ramon going out there, forcing Numbreon to get creative, but Numbreon once again has a better answer with recovery. I'm glad you brought up how Ramon is forcing him to recover in different ways, but Numbreon has had the right answers every time. That time, however, commentator's curse, the answer is incorrect. Ramon bringing this back even, and with items in play and all 3 Dragoon pieces currently on the map, You have to be careful.
Yep, this is a very scary situation right now. If anything, Numbreon should at least try his best to see if he can get the back throw on his opponent, as his opponent is at high percent. And you know Mega Man is a heavy, so he's going to have to inflict a little bit more damage.
Speaking of damage, just a little bit more damage, and that Dragoon piece will be knocked out of Numbreon here. You see Ramon content just throwing out all these safe hitboxes, trying to find a way to bring that out of Ness. We see here...
Yep, the forward tilt, just knocking Mega Man off. There's the weight, but he did not anticipate the air dodge, and because of that, missed his opportunity to get the back throw.
Up air going to take it, and now all the pieces are going to come in. You see Ramon trying his best to get all of them as quickly as possible. Now needs to knock 2 pieces out if he wants to have that. And now we see another multi-piece weapon on the map as well.
A little bit. And look how right now we have Ramon M64 just turning on the jets. He's playing way faster, trying to whittle down that shield, missing the tech chase right there. Is Numbreon actually recovering off stage. Has to watch out for the side magnet usage off stage. It stalls him, yes, but leaves him open to a forward air attack, which we saw connect over and over again.
We have, and I like the fact that Ramon is going out there and trying to do that. Knows that he needs to make some plays, has some pieces of both the Daybreak and the Dragoon here, but now neither one of those items is the one that's changing the game. It is instead that reliable Star Rod that's helping there. Ramon now on his final stock and potentially losing that final stock here. That back throw at edge, very scary. It might not even come to that. Barely surviving. You mentioned that Mega Man is heavy, barely surviving that up smash yo-yo, but now there's another...
Oh my goodness, for sure you get a actually, and now Ramon has the final smash instead. Tries to connect it on his opponent. You saw he wanted to absorb it, but instead he's going to absorb all this damage from the Mega Man Legends.
Not going to be enough to take it right there. Very low percent, but this is still scary now. You see, now off stage again, has to find a way to recover. I love the fact that he doesn't go low. Putting a down smash out there is going to catch the neutral getup, and after all that, Numbreon pulling it together, absorbing final smashes, absorbing assist trophies, about everything that could be thrown, but emerging victorious and moving on to our grand final.
Congratulations to Numbreon, and I have to say, dude, it was such a pleasure to see the back and forth between both of those players, but the clutchness of Numbreon is what got me truly excited. Of course, him being so clutch allowed him to get into the grand finals here against Aarow's Young Link, which is going to be quite interesting, as he was already fighting against a person who was proficient in projectiles, but now this Aarow's Young Link, I have to say, is quite the opponent, so this is not going to be an easy feat.
No, this will not. Both of our sets so far have gone to Game 3, and I'm quite happy that we've gotten to see that so far. Some fine competition here. But can we talk about, you mentioned being clutch. Talk about Numbreon's recovery and how good it was, because we said earlier, it is not easy to recover with Ness. Mega Man has all of the tools necessary in order to make recovering very difficult for him, but we only saw that one down air, and I believe that was in Game 2, take it. Otherwise, it was really good recovering by Numbreon.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a lot of times where he tried to stall his descent using the PSI magnet and also using that air dodge in conjunction with his double jump at the right times. You know, using that air dodge, you do have some invulnerable frames, which basically means if you try to attack the opponent, the attack is going to phase right through you. Air dodge in the name. It's in the name.
That makes sense.
You're able to actually dodge attacks. So it's super cool to see right there how, due to the fact that you have that directional air dodge, it's like another jump that's added to Ness. And I have to say, I've been really impressed with the way that Numbreon was able to actually regain control, because we did see from Ramon M64 a lot of stellar projectile play, which kind of made it difficult for Numbreon to get his game going, especially in the first game. But the moment you started seeing more breathing room, Numbreon was actually able to play his game, which kind of begs the question, why do you think Ramon M64 decided to go back to that stage?
You know, that's a great question, and I think that part of it is Ramon understands that in that first game, he got almost every break that was possible. So instead of saying, okay, let me hope for that again, understanding that it's a more neutral stage here, saying, okay, maybe it won't come and get me this time. Maybe this time I'll be the one who's unlucky. So instead, going back there, playing a little bit more even and trusting in your skill, even in a format like this, fundamentals are what's going to get it for you here.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. So he basically wanted to even out the playing field. He's like, if I'm just a better player on that day,
Right.
I will be able to actually win, on a stage like this. It's like the most FD feeling stage for them, I guess. If
I would
you-
agree, yeah.
Yeah, if you just look at the layout of the stage, of course they have slants and things are a little bit different there with the platform on top. But overall, those guys were able to have a solid game plan without, any ceilings, allowing people to keep their stocks lasting for even longer periods of time.
Right. Let's talk about this next matchup that we're going to see. So provided that both characters stay the same, we're going to see Young Link versus Neth. Both of these characters very, very explosive. We've seen that both Aarow and Numbreon can put big damage on you off of little stray hits, off of little projectiles. And so I think that's really going to be the factor right here. Both of these characters, very small, very quick, and very big damage.
I agree. One thing I'm going to be looking out for, especially after seeing what Numbreon's Ness is capable of, is how will Numbreon be able to lock down Aarow's just maneuverability, right? Aarow is so nimble. He's so quick. But if he gets caught with his back to the edge, you saw what Numbreon was able to do with his Ness. He either walks the dog with the down smash and charges it on your
walks
shield,
the dog.
Or he tries to do the around the world with the up smash. Either of those tools, they whittle down your shield so much that it results in a shield stab situation. And if you're a high percent, he's going to be able to net a KO from that. When I saw him playing against Ramon M64, I was so impressed when you saw Ramon back to the edge. He charged the up smash right there. And I was like, oh my goodness, he's actually just stuck there blocking this attack, and his shield is getting smaller. And you saw the zoom in, which told us, oh my goodness, a KO is about to happen.
Right, yeah.
But Mega Man being heavy, he was able to stay alive longer. But again, those setups are so scary. The fact that Numbreon has those on lock makes me very fearful for Aarow if he decides to get a little bit too defensive, especially at KO percents.
And you have to be willing to play a very disciplined defense when you see something like that. You know you're going to take some shield damage, but you cannot try to jump out of shield. You can't get too happy with spot dodges as well because it lingers, like you said, and you will get hit by it here. That's going to be very key for Aarow. But on the other side, we saw some times where off stage, even though Numbreon did recover well, he did get a little bit predictable. There were some times where he went with Psy Magnet as well, and the second time Ramon caught onto that, was able to go off and get that KO as well. I know that Young Link has a myriad of tools to punish you for situations like that, so this should be a very fun and explosive matchup between these two characters.
Oh, it's definitely going to be one. Looking at Young Link, I'm so happy that he actually is back from Melee.
Yes.
This character, he's even better than the Super Smash Bros. Melee iteration that we've seen. A character that a lot of people are putting rather high on their when it comes to like the tier list of characters in competitive play. So I'm extremely excited to just see what's going to transpire between these two. Aarow, he has the combos, he has the stage control, and even like his positioning is so smart. Like he'll understand if he's in a rough spot or he wants to put you in a spot where you'll have to deal with inopportune or circumstances that you don't want to deal with. He'll constantly try to put you in those bad situations, especially when you're going to potentially get sharked, right? If he's on a platform, he'll try to get back down to the ground and make you have to deal with his projectiles. And if you're far away, he wants you to come to him. He's gonna make sure all the time to play his game. But on the other hand, when I see the way Numbreon was playing, just using the full jumps at the right time, I didn't really see too many parries from him. Then again, parries don't quite help out when it comes to projectiles, because if you parry an attack, you have extra time for you to act before your opponent, right? But when you parry a projectile, the person who put out the projectile, they can still move.
Right.
So it's a little bit different situation. You're probably going to have to use your full jump. We even seen sometimes Numbreon use a roll. But, the roll, if baited out, can actually lead to him being in a bad situation. So here it is. I think it's about time, guys. We have the Southwest Region Super Smash Bros. Ultimate North America Open Qualifier Finals right here between Aarow and Numbreon.
Starting off on Battlefield, the stage that, again, not surprising to see this at all. Both of these characters respect each other's skill. They want to play this on a neutral stage, or as neutral as we can get. But this start, anything but neutral. Aarow forcing it out. The double jump is gone from Numbreon. Very good air dodge, though, but again, getting a little bit too aggressive. Right now, the story of the match, Aarow is baiting out and almost 0% taken on that first stock. And Numbreon sitting up there waiting, understands, okay, I got to take a breather here.
Let me tell you something right now. That blue shell is not operating correctly. If it was Mario Kart, it would have went straight after Aarow, but instead, it went right after Numbreon. just making it even tougher for him to bring it back against his opponent. And again, guys, as a reminder, this will be a 2 out of 3 set between these guys. So you have to watch out, because I have to say, man, Aarow has a lot of momentum going into this Battlefield battle.
And again, Aarow's done such a great job of identifying Numbreon's movement. We said in that last set that Aarow played, following the Mario around, it still works here for Ness as well, having the tools to stuff a lot of those. And right now, Numbreon trying to use all the shots of that ray gun and find some sort of opening here, but may have just given Aarow, nope, beats that smash ball right out of him. And now the PK Starstorm is online, might try to save it, but I would recommend just using it right now. Get this stock before you take any more damage.
Honestly, yes. The moment we just saw him get hit by down air, he even noticed. He was like, you know what? It's time to burn it. And there it is. You got Paula and Pooh coming through, trying to see if he could get that stock over there, but a little bit too high. Wait a second!
Ooh.
Woo,
Talk about making the best of that situation, understanding that Aarow used that up B to try to put some more damage and get the stock there earlier, but instead saying, all right, you know what? Give me a little bit more credit than this. I'm going to make you pay with 43%. That's a lot of damage here.
And I love this right now. Numbreon, he's still playing his game the same way, even after getting all this percentage inflicted on him. You know, a lot of players tend to switch it up. When they're behind, they get a little bit more defensive. They're a little more scared, and it makes it easier for to get the KO. But look at that. Numbreon, he is fighting right now to bring it back. Understands that this is the grand finals, and he's trying to go to packs.
And Ness does have the tools to do exactly that. We saw how quickly that damage built up, and we saw last time Aarow getting a little bit overzealous with those up Bs on the ground, that spinning attack there. But this time, it's getting punished, and I think if we see that anymore, we might see that once again.
Oh, and right there, it looks like the Bombspell not even able to help out in that particular situation. Nominal damage. Aarow right now still has 2 stocks. Wow, he's actually still chilling.
How did he get out of that?
I can't believe it. Wait, the Bombchu is right here, taking control of the top platform, which leaves Numbreon to just stay grounded. Respecting all these attacks. You see Aarow, he's like, I'm holding on the left side of the stage. Where are you going to go? But the Bombchu setting off, giving Numbreon some breathing room yet again.
Smash ball now online here and completely on Ness's side here. Needs to be careful though. I'm surprised not swinging at it here. Ness comes out and immediately uses the PK Starstorm. Was not even waiting to see if Aarow had a response to it, and Aarow not going to be able to recover. I mentioned it earlier, it doesn't matter what you do against PK Starstorm. If you are off stage, that stock is gone.
That projectile super just kept on persisting. I thought it was gone. But here we have it again, the Rambling Mushroom. So much Earthbound representation. I kind of feel like there's some bias right now towards Numbreon from the game.
You know what else is biased? Forward air. That's a really good move, and I love Aarow putting that out there, trying to see maybe Numbreon will jump into this off stage, but one more PK fire, and I think that we might see even percents.
Oh, and we have a tough spot, holding it up to the skies, trying to see if we can get the explosion on the opponent, but not quite working out. Now things are getting a little bit more even between both of these players. You see Arrow's trying to nail a fire arrow from afar to get a big combo on Numbreon. There's the spin attack, and it's not going to KO yet.
Battlefield, a big stage there, and a lot of other stages Numbreon would have been done, but not even seeing that finishing flash that we see there, and actually knocking the assist trophy out. This could be big here. And oh my gosh, we got some artwork on the stage here and some damage piling up. And again, couldn't even see what the attack was in that situation. Numbreon putting out a big, long, lingering hitbox there, and a back throw might have taken it as well. I think that Aarow moving forward towards Numbreon there might have been a misplay.
Yeah, that definitely was a very, very risky maneuver. Honestly, with that big, just amazing presence right there from Aarow. Like, honestly, I was at a loss for words because of the fact that Aarow had so much control. He was able to connect all those attacks, getting the first stock, leaving him only at 9%, all 3 stocks intact. And then after that, you just saw Numbreon bring it back, and I feel like that is constantly the story of Numbreon, man. He never stops. He only persists.
Only persist. And you know, that's one thing that we haven't really even talked about. Having stage control means so much in the item game as well. When you knock people off, it makes it that much easier for you to grab more items and use that. Now look at how much they're swinging right now. Neutral airs all over the place. Both of these characters with very strong neutral airs. As they trade neutral airs too there at the start, they're saying, all right, let's put as much damage on as we can on each other before the items come into play here.
Yep, very smart move by Numbreon. He actually got hit out of his double jump mid-combo, so he immediately opted for that air dodge to bring it back on stage. But here it is, Aarow being rather aggressive with his combo breaker, with that down air. Didn't want to deal with anything. And look at that. You know, we were talking about the PK Thunder as an amazing tool to catch opponents when they recover. Intercepting the tether recovery is quite a feat.
It is, and there's a lot of different ways the young Link can recover on this stage. As you mentioned earlier, that right side in this game does have a lip that you can grab onto, which will make the recovery mix-ups that much stronger. And now we're seeing Aarows almost getting the kill on that one.
Yep, Aarow using arrows. Not a shocker to us right here at the desk. Trying to come back on stage, so has the bomb in hand, but there's the down smash. And if he were able to go for that again, that would have been a bad spot for Aarow. Okay, so what you just saw right there was him hitting the opponent with the tail, but the bomb saving Aarow.
So many different ways to recover here. It seems like none of that should have worked, but now the back throw, we can reliably say that that one will get the job done. But go ahead and talk about what you were now that we have a moment.
Actually, just the beauty of that tail edge guarding, the fact that the tail, if you hit the opponent with it, has very low knockback, so it can intercept somebody. But now we have the PK Starstorm, no time wasted, and look at that. It's almost like he's playing one of those games that just has those projectiles coming from all sorts of different directions. Toho is, I think, what they call it.
Yes.
Here it is, though. Good job right there by Aarow.
All right, the follow-ups that we are so accustomed to seeing here from Ness. Things, again, a little bit more neutral here. And again, the game very even as we are used to seeing when these two are neutral here. And I like the fact that Aarow is, again, trying to approach a little bit with these falling neutral airs. We have seen this so much. That little kick there does such a great job. And now, again, we're starting to see intercepting the way that Numbreon is trying to come down. And again, that side magnet stalling.
I'm so shocked that he actually waited for that PK Thunder. I was literally, well, there it is. Numbreon able to just get back on the stage because of that. Honestly, that was Aarow's opportunity, but they're both pretty close right now in percents. We have the PK Thunder coming out. A little bit risky in terms of how close he used it next to his opponent, but here it is again. Aarow back to the edge. Jumping on top of his opponent is Numbreon, leaving him at his final stop.
And I love the use of the up smash there as an anti-air of sorts, understanding that Numbreon was probably trying to bait out a spot dodge or look for something to punish with back air in that situation. Aarow saying, I'm going to throw out a big hitbox that will take you down if it hits. That time it did, and now a small lead trying to be clung to.
Here it is again. We have those spin attacks, giving him the openings, and that forward smash as well, giving Aarow all the confidence that he needs. And you know what? Look at that. He has a contingency plan with the Dragoon as well. And just when I mention it, he actually gets back thrown, which makes him lose one of the pieces. Very high recovery, has the bomb as well. And now, PK Thunder. All these PK Thunders can leave. Wait a second, an opening which Numbreon actually found with that back air.
How many pieces fell? And how many pieces of that fell? PK Starstorm now, and Aarow is in the center of the stage here, but if he keeps getting knocked further off, this might be it. That last one's going to hit. The double jump's gone. Will the platform go too high? No!
And right there, the PK Flash was about to find its mark. Beautiful grab right there just to stop the PK Flash from just fully getting the charge there. Forward air to push the opponents off to the side. Numbreon needs that stage presence. He already has one game under his belt. He needs to get this last game right now to be the champion right here of the Southwest region here at the North America Open of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Aarow fought back to center stage, was in a really rough position there. Two pieces of the Dragoon. The third piece is out right now, but Aarow not going to go off stage to chase and say, no, I have the lead. I don't need that much. Now Numbreon finding a creative way to get back to center stage as well.
And Numbreon actually, not just on stage. Wait, actually Aarow giving Numbreon the opportunity to claim the title of the champion here at the Southwest region, here at the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate North America Open Online Event 1 Qualifier. I can't believe it, man. He won it. He won the finals here. Beautiful job right here by Numbreon. I can't believe it, dude.
All of the people that entered this tournament, down to 4, down to 2, and now down to 1. Congratulations to Numbreon taking that victory. And again, we didn't talk very much about ledge trapping. There's so much chaos that's happening in that situation. But for Numbreon to have the presence of mind to space and to go out and throw that forward smash, understanding if they come in with an aerial, if they come in with a roll, if they come in with an air dodge, which was the option that was chosen, it can potentially cover all of them if I time it right. That time it timed right. And man, one swing of the bat, packs, that's a pretty good deal.
That is it, man. That is literally it. I have to say, man, Numbreon, again, great job to you right there. Just a 2-0 win, clean win. Having to first face off against Ramon M64, a stellar Mega Man main, and then going into this battle again, like we said before, these these players who are just so great at using projectile-based characters, right? He still was able to find his openings. Like, I can't believe, first off, great usage of the items.
Right.
You know, like, if they're there, if you have the resources, use them. If they're at your disposal, just use them. And he did. He was able to get a lot of key PK Star Storms, getting him some free damage to be able to try to even the playing field a little bit. And we did get to see him use that down smash as an edge guarding tool earlier on the right side of Frigate Orpheon.
Right.
But what I really loved was the presence of mind to notice that his opponent went for a mix-up option at the edge on the left side of the stage. It was getting rather close. We saw both players picking up the Dragon pieces, but to actually try to jump on stage using that air dodge to try to simulate a waveland, if you will. And then right there, you know, when you go for the waveland, there are a lot of frames of recovery. You won't be able to have access to shield, which because of that, it was a free smash to the face with that home run, with that bat. I was about to say home run bat, but no, that was Ness's bat, getting him the W. And I have to say, man, I'm quite impressed. And kudos to him, because now he's going to get a ticket to actually compete with the rest of the stronger players later on.
A very difficult field, like we said before. Started with a lot, then to 4, then to 2, then to 1. Again, congratulations to Numbreon. I believe we're going to be sending this back to Vegas right now, to the main hub for them to talk about it and analyze it a little bit. So, thank you once again. This has been 9 Whole Grains, joined by the legend, D1.
You're a legend too, man. Come on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, we're going to hear it from the analysts at the desk. And again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Congratulations to Numbreon. We hope to see more from you in the future.